Welcome to the Farmhouse Dirt, sponsored today by Refined and Refreshed. We have our good friend Chele Meisenbach from down the street at Refined and Refreshed with us today. And how did this all come about?
My first friends, besides you actually, here in Wayne, were Mark and Lucas that ran Rustic Treasures. And they were kind enough to let me, not so much work, but I volunteered there in the beginning, just doing their displays. And I fell in love with it. I found all the great things that start to come in from people's homes and the ability to turn that around, put it in your own home and give it a whole new look. And I really loved that. I loved throwing looks together for people and just helping them, pick a wall and tell me what you want to start with and go from there. And so that's kind of how I started loving the business itself. And then, when we lost Rustic Treasures, that was a huge loss in the community. Having a college here, having, people with young children and budgets and things like that, it was a real loss to the community. So I was glad that I could open mine up and kind of take the place of that.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, Chele has a thrift store downtown where she will take just about anything, really.
Home goods. That's the big thing. It's all home goods.
All good quality stuff. You can find a lot of neat treasures down there. And it's really kind of a nice thing because, it's April 2nd. Tariffs are kicking in today. She will not be as impacted as some.
Thank God.
I know we're going to start to see some of the ramifications. It's hard to say what will happen, but this all kind of conspired between she and I to do this today. We were at the chamber banquet this past weekend, and so we're sitting there, and Chele's like, "Well, what's going to be on the Farmhouse Dirt this week?" And I was like, "You."
And I said, "Okay."
She's like, "How much swearing can be done on this show?"
So far, we're good. So far, I got it out of the way before we started the video.
I was prepared to just be like, beep.
If you've ever hung out with Trish, though, it's like hanging out with a pal. So, I mean, it really is like a night having some chicken wings and a beer and hanging out. And so you forget how you're supposed to try and maybe be a little professional.
Our motto, though. Well-behaved women rarely make history.
They rarely do. They rarely do.
We are just going to keep that theme forever.
Yes. It's all good. It's okay.
Yes,
it's okay.
Yes. So Chele has provided some really great things for my business and throughout the office here because we use them for staging homes and doing things for some decorative purposes. So tell us a little bit about your main business, and then we're going to branch off into some other things too, as far as Green Earth Month for April. Yes. And so she's got even her coffee in a reusable mug today. So
my main business is, it's kind of three words. It's upcycling, it's recycling, and it's consignment. I love to see the things that come in, and maybe they're not perfect, but somebody grabs a thing of the Dixie Belle paint, they take it home and they make it just something just brilliant and amazing. And so I love that. My primary job at Refine and Refresh is let's leave a great carbon footprint on the planet. That means if I can sell cups, if I can sell pictures from people's homes, it's all home goods. So anything from kitchenwares up to bedding, everything, we take all of that.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yep.
And, even if you just need a clock or a lamp or something just to kind of fill a little bit of a space in your home, she's probably got it.
or I have 12 of them. And yes. I love being able to, you can walk into the store, and if you've been in the store, you notice it's set up as a vignette in every area. It isn't like a garage sale store where you walk in and you see 10 lamps on a table, 10 clocks on a table. It really is about designing something that makes you picture it in your own home.
Right.
And then maybe you picture 3 or 4 items that are sitting around it as well. Now, if you have a wall in your home that you need designed, take a picture of that. Talk to me about what your likes and dislikes are, and I'd be happy to design a wall as well. So I've done a little bit of that. I've also helped stage the college with the Sturm Dorm. I love it. It's, makes it look so much more welcoming. Absolutely. And it excites the students coming in. So there's a lot of things you can come in for. We have tons in the store.
Yep. And Chele volunteers a lot of her time. I mean, she's helped business owners downtown decorate windows for different holidays. Right now, you've got a display at American Family Insurance. Lincoln is really into music and saxophones, and she's got a really cool little thing going on down there. She helps with the Christmas planters at Christmas time. So I know she's thrown some really nice things in my planter. So we're really grateful for that.
Whether you like it or not, I think
I kept them.
You and I said, I did something. I hope it's okay. And she was fine with it.
I never complain when people do stuff for me for free. Kind of like when the Wayne Herald printed our ad upside down yesterday. You know,
Brilliant.
It's free ads for everybody that were upside down.
That's awesome.
Wink, wink.
I loved it. I loved it. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. So kind of branching off, you know, on Sunday night, you were talking to me about your dumpster dives.
Mm-hmm.
So we're lucky Chele is not in jail right now. Where do you find your best finds?
So I can tell you, I go back to the Rustic Treasures days when Lucas introduced me to dumpster diving. He would say, we're going to go up and we're going to go shop tonight. And I would be like, okay,
tonight.
Where is that?
Dark of the night.
Like wear your black and, you know, like your head lamp. And I mean, it was awesome. And here I am, this 40-year-old woman trying to climb into a dumpster. But we would go to the college as students were moving out. And it was astounding the things that were being thrown away. And I mean, I'll tell you, just dumpster diving alone, 2 TVs in my house have come from dumpsters. Like futons. We've gotten full futons that I don't know if they've ever been sat on. And all of that stuff is being thrown away. And for why? I mean, you can, even if you're not going to need it, even if you don't care about selling it, give it away. There are so many people that will take that kind of thing. There's lots of organizations that will take that stuff too. So yeah, we're really working hard at don't throw things away that are good, especially, you know, things like that. That's just crazy that you spent the money and now you don't want it.
Exactly.
So
a lot of our conversations so far is focused on the restocking your home. But, you know, another thing we try to focus on, especially in the sales world, is how to declutter your home and some inspo for that too. So give us some ideas of where to look, what to do, how to get started with all this processing.
So I feel like I became an expert at this 3 years ago when my folks in Hastings were moving from a 3,500 square foot home into a 1-bedroom apartment at the Kensington in Hastings. And my dad was a very smart collector. He always had beautiful pieces. I know what he spent on them. And that was very hard to downsize. Everybody has to start somewhere. So with my dad, we chose one room and we started in that room. And so it was very hard. Everything had a value, whether it was financially or emotionally. And so a lot of people hold on to things. It's the memory of your things and you don't want to get rid of it. And so that was a really great lesson for my folks because it was very hard to do. It can be very emotional. And so I always recommend the best place to start if you're looking at decluttering, start in your kitchen. You know, we all have purchased those crazy things that maybe we have never used. So whether it's the 7 George Foreman grills you have or the bread makers you don't need or whatever, start small, start in a box, start with things that you have not pulled out of that cupboard in a year. Trust me, if it's still there, you're not going to use it. Okay. That's my one to you. It's not bringing you joy. It's just taking up counter space or it's taking up cupboard space. And, you know, especially looking at houses, it's all about simplifying now. People don't want to see a lot of things sitting out on counters. They don't want clutter. If they're looking at a home to buy, they're probably going to open your cupboards and think about that. So there is that whole option of start with one room, start in the kitchen, start with one box. I am fine with people starting an account with me with one box. Because that is the biggest first step. So your kitchen is definitely a good place to start. I promise you have tons of things that you're not using.
Well, and you know, we just acquire things. We go to the Tupperware parties, the Pampered Chef parties, all of those things. And you've got some really great pieces from those collections down at the shop.
Absolutely.
And, you know, Pyrex, that's a hot item too. So
absolutely.
Those types of things, you know, some of us can do without because, you know, I saw a really funny little sign the other day. It said, the only reason I have a kitchen is because it came with the house. So
she's not lying, folks.
You know, if you're not using it, you know, some of us keep these collections of glasses and things that we only use once a year, maybe at Christmas time or the holidays. And it just gets a little bit too overwhelming to have all of that stuff laying around and sitting around the house.
Absolutely. If you open up a cupboard and it gives you a little bit of anxiety, it's a great suggestion. That's a great closet to start in. So that's a good way to go. Now, I will say, if you have Christmas dishes or if you have special dishes, my biggest suggestion is Use them. What are you waiting for? Like I think it's silly that people collect Christmas dishes or really special dishes and then they just leave them in a closet and never use them.
Yep.
I promise you, one time in the dishwasher is not going to kill them.
Yes.
And you may as well use them. They're beautiful. Like you look at what, the China sets from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, gorgeous sets. And I get those in every day because people think they don't want to use them.
Yeah.
So,
and the company towels, everybody's got the company towels. We only use them when the company comes. And, I have a policy at my home. All the towels get used. When we get old towels, we go buy new towels because there's other businesses and other entities that will take donated towels too, like the Wayne Vet Clinic.
Absolutely.
So there's ways to get rid of some of these things that is environmentally friendly, but also allows you the joy of using them throughout the year and being a part of that. So, do what you got to do, but the company towels.
I always say use your stuff. Use your stuff.
Yes.
Enjoy your stuff. That's why you have it.
That's why you have it.
Yep.
Don't just let it sit around and get rotten.
Yeah. Yep. 10 years from now, when you're blowing dust off of it, you're going to be mad you never used it.
Yes.
So just use your stuff.
Or you'll be hauling it down to Shell's place.
Right. Please clean it before you bring it in. I don't want your 10 years of dust, but thank you. Yeah.
Well, and you talked about the TVs in the dumpsters. You talked about the futons. People are going out and buying new for, maybe a 2 or 3 year stint here in Wayne.
Right.
What are some of the things they can come down to your store as maybe college students and moving off campus into their first apartment or their first rental unit? And what can they find at your store?
Everything.
Okay.
So you can start, I always start with the basics. You need dishes, you need this, I have a lot of great things that you can stock your kitchen with, from silverware to plates. And a lot of the plates are actually brand spanking new. I found a really great person that sells them and they were new. And I thought, okay, that offers a great option for somebody. So for $10, you get 4 plates, 4 bowls, which is a great way to start.
Right.
We have drinking cups. We have things for your wall, and it's all very affordable. I'm not in this world to get rich. Trust me, you don't get rich having a consignment store, but I have it at great prices. Please don't go shop your big box stores and spend $40 on a picture that you could find in my store. And that is very true. We have great artwork. We have wonderful furniture, just little cute side tables, lamps, which is my number one seller. So I try to keep those stocked. So anything you can think of, you can at least stop here first. And I remember when Rustic was open, I would say, oh my gosh, I need this for my wall. That was the first place I would go.
Sure.
Maybe you don't find it, but you've given it a shot.
Right.
So yeah, really anything you can think of, we carry.
Yes. So absolutely. If you are getting started, if you're on a budget, if you need some things that just are really nice, good quality, pots and pans even.
Yeah.
Those are the types of things that Shell has down at her shop. And your address is at?
I'm 104 West 2nd Street.
104 West 2nd.
Look for the kind of the neon green painted walls. But my sign fell down and we're getting a new sign.
The Nebraska wind. I don't know if you guys have heard, Nebraska has wind.
I came in one day and my sign was on the ground in half. So we've learned our lesson from that. The new sign's going to either be metal or acrylic or something. And so that is being worked on. So we'll have a new sign, but you can look for the window boxes and you can look for the spring flowers in there. And hopefully you can hear the music coming in. I love to pipe music throughout the day. And usually the door is open. Today, maybe not, but the door's usually wide open. And we're letting that Nebraska air in. It's just nice to have that. So good location, good parking, which is really nice. You can park in my location, and then you can hit all the stores downtown, including our Thriftopoly, which we like to joke we have. We've got Tanner, who's got clothes. We've got Bubba's Baggage. It's really becoming a destination for thrifting.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Thrift Warehouse, when you mentioned Tanner, and then Bubba's Baggage, Cassie Davis, great options here in Wayne. I love the Thriftopoly. I had not heard that before. So, Wayne really is a destination.
It is.
It is a place to come, to eat, to shop, to do the things that you need to do.
Even to stay.
Yeah, to stay, to bank.
To bank, to buy homes, to rent homes,
go to the hardware store,
make new friends and hang out and do lives. And
Well, so let's flashback. Okay, when did you move here? Remind me.
Oh my gosh, 14 years ago.
Holy moly.
Trish was the very first connection I made in town. I remember after looking at a house, I was like, gosh, I want to be friends with her. She's so cool.
And Shell, blonde,
crazy
big hair, loved it. I mean, she was so energetic, and we've toned our game down a little bit in 14 years. We've gotten a little bit,
It's the antidepressants, I think. They kind of level me out, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either. You talk about antidepressants and, business ownership is...
Oh, God.
It's one of the hardest things you can ever do in life.
When you can talk about what you want to do in your life. And, I was very close with Mark and Lucas when it came to Rustic Treasures, and I still had no idea.
Right.
I mean, the things that can happen, if you don't know, I'm very accident prone. I've had a few things that happened last year and not being open. And just the support that I received after that with people knowing what's going on in your life. I'm very transparent, if you couldn't tell. I'm very transparent about businesses downtown. It is not just about my business.
Yep.
I love to say that competition makes us faster, but collaboration makes us stronger.
Yes.
And so doing things like this and working with the flower shops on things, working with Tanner, working with Cassie, and just making sure that you tell your crowd what is going on in Wayne this weekend. It isn't just about me.
Right.
I'm only successful if you come and park in front of the store, come and shop, but then I see you walk across the street and go see Tanner, or maybe you go eat at the table. So it is about supporting your local businesses,
right?
Supporting your local realtors. Everything is small town.
It is.
And we have to be supportive of that, or we will lose businesses.
Yes, absolutely. And, the flower shops you mentioned, they're just coming off of Super Bowl weekend for flower shops. It wasn't Valentine's Day, but we had prom. We had the daddy-daughter dance at the school, and they had the chamber banquet out at the Beaumont. So those gals have been putting in nights and weekends, just like any other small business owner in this town. And it is incredible, the things that are happening on our main street, if you just stop to pause and listen and look at what's going on every day.
It is. I mean, we have so much to offer for a small town. I mean, we joke, shop that small town. That doesn't mean you have one store you come over for. It means you have a great selection going on. And, I'll give a shout out to Nana's across the street, who's probably one of the biggest supporters of Wayne businesses. They will tell people, oh, you need this, go here, go here. They, they do a fantastic job. And that inspired me. That's how I want to be. I want to make sure, oh, you didn't find it here? Great. Walk over to Thrift House. Maybe you have something like that.
Yes. So. And there's a lot of Saturday mornings and afternoons when I'm down here, or even Sunday afternoons. I'm down at the office and we've got big front facing windows, and we'll see groups of people walking. And that is so inspiring. I mean, I know they might not be stopping in at my shop. We don't have retail here. This is kind of like, you have to have a reason to come to a real estate office.
Sure.
But we do have walk-ins on Saturdays and Sundays, believe it or not. It's funny how many phone messages and calls we'll get in the off hours.
But
it's inspiring to see the people walking the main street. It's inspiring to see the cars parked on Main Street. We want to see it full. So
all the time,
keep coming, keep shopping, keep doing everything you're doing to support, because we've got to all work together. I love the collaborative aspect of it. So.
Absolutely. And they may be walking by and they may not be stopping in to see you, but maybe someday they're going to be a homeowner.
Yes,
exactly. And so, I mean, it really, every bit of that, every person that walks downtown is potential for somewhere.
Right.
And I think that's really important to remember, whether you're going to Hair Envy and you're walking by 3 stores, or you're going to I Wet My Plants. Yeah, all of that matters.
It does.
And I'm going to give a big shout out for 2 seconds to Wayne, because if you walk down Main Street, you see the amount of powerful women running businesses in this town. And I'm talking powerful, not just my friend Trisha here, but we have a lot of power. She's pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but we have so many great women that are running businesses now. And that is, that's really great to have that support downtown.
Yes.
We involve our kids in it. Like, we haven't seen Trisha's kids lately. I don't know why, because they're amazing. But, we're involving in those future generations too. I see your boys and I see what you instill in them. And I love to tell the story of when I took your son to Aquapop, and I got him a couple things for his birthday. And later I got a thank you note in the mail that said, I look forward to doing business with you in the future. That's Trisha's kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love that, though. You're inspiring the future generations, and you're really instilling a lot of hard work in your kids. I see that. They wash your windows. They come in and do things all the time. And honestly, I think the stories you share are probably better than anything. So,
well, just don't turn me into the child labor people.
I would never do that. Anybody that'll wash my windows isn't getting turned in.
We got a little sweatshop in the back loft there.
Chained to a sewing machine or something. I don't.
They're screwing little signs together and
get it done before Mom comes back here. She's so mean.
Maybe she'll give us a snack later.
Right. You earned the milk. You earned the milk.
I might give you some cookies.
Right? Maybe. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
But it really is. I mean, it takes my whole family to run the business.
100%.
This is a family business. No matter who you see here, you probably aren't going to see my kids and husband all the time, but you know, we have to work together, and we do a lot of nights and weekend and evening stuff that
you do
make it happen.
Yep.
So
yeah, I definitely understand that. I've been at the store at midnight in my haunted building doing displays, and I talk to Mr. Garvin, who haunts my building all the time at midnight, and I'll say, "Yeah, you like this display?"
Tell me this story.
It's really true. I don't. So it used to be Garvin's, and the Garvins actually lived upstairs, in the apartment.
Okay,
which would be stunning redone. Somebody wants to loan me $300,000. I'm just saying, I would not say no. And when I first opened the building, I would come in and lights would be on, and these are lights that you have to flip a switch on. It's not like I'm like, ooh, I forgot. No.
Yeah.
Lights would be on, and there was a chair that I had for sale. One of the very first things I brought in the store to sell it. And every morning when I walked in, I could feel him sitting in that chair, and I could feel him enjoying it. Actually, like I never felt scared. But so I do love to joke. My building is a little bit haunted, but I love it. I love the history behind it, and the fact that a family lived upstairs and they still ran a sporting goods business downstairs. And I love that history. Anything history wise in Wayne, I'm all about. So
some good Wayne lore that we have.
100%. Oh yes.
I feel a Halloween edition coming out.
I should make the upstairs of my business like a haunted house for Halloween, except it's so treacherous. I don't know that.
I don't know. I've been up there. I don't know. I don't know if we wouldn't end up on the main floor at some point.
We might. I cannot make any promises that you won't. There is an old freight elevator in that building. If anybody ever wants to come in and get a tour of it, I'd be happy to give you a tour of the building. It's actually amazing. There's so many great bones in that place. It's got original wallpaper upstairs. It's really inspirational.
It is.
It's kind of creepy and fun, but
it is.
Mr. Garvin takes good care of me. Lights are on when I come in the morning, almost every day.
Yep.
So lights come on, go off during the day. It's weird.
Yes. Well, and when you think of the history of this community, I mean,
absolutely,
most of these buildings were built in the early 1900s. This building used to be the post office, believe it or not, built in 1916. I'm still waiting to find some stamps or something of value in one of the walls or the floorboards or something.
That would be awesome.
You know, so it's just crazy to think of how the community has evolved, how things have changed, and where things are going. I mean, it's really an exciting thing to think about.
So. It is. It's exciting for a small town. You know, when I talk about my little town, which, you know, 5,000 people isn't little, but it's not tiny.
6,000.
6,000. Sorry, Census Bureau.
Statistics.
My bad. I should know better. Of course
math ain't mathin'.
Of course, my math ain't mathin' today. Sorry, Mr. McAuliffe. I was terrible in your math class anyways. That's fine. He used to say to me, you should just do hair for a living. Which is not true. Have you seen this mess? No. So it's crazy to think what our little town actually has. You know, when I did Leadership Wayne, we talked about other communities that are our size, things that make us successful. The pool is awesome for our kids. We have a great library. We have an amazing senior center. We have a movie theater. You guys, a movie theater that is a 501c3 and supported by the community. That is almost unheard of.
$5 a show.
$5 for a show. I mean, and this weekend they're doing the Green Team movie. You can come and watch it for free. Bring a bowl, bring your cup. You can go that. We have an amazing bowling alley that has been redone. Another great feature for a small community.
Right.
You know, they say if you can support a bowling alley or a pool or a movie theater, you're doing something right.
That's right.
And we have all three.
Yes.
So
18-hole golf course.
18-hole golf course. New golf, like the new clubhouse is amazing.
Yes. We
have the Beaumont outside of town. We have restaurants in town that are open Saturdays and Sundays, which is great for a small town too. We have Pearl Street, which is just amazing to come and get a steak. If you want some fine dining, you have that opportunity.
Right.
We have a new car dealership.
Yes.
I mean, we literally have everything you need.
And industry. I mean, there's jobs.
Yes. And new apartments. So we do have living here, which is great. We've been missing out on living for a while, and that has been amazing. So I mean, we just have so much going for us right now.
We do. And, you know, new subdivision going in, housing development getting started. We have houses available for sale. So we always have to put that plug in because we're shameless salespeople. That's what we do.
Yeah, we do. But the great news is they are all, they're not $400,000 homes. They range from everything. If you're looking to come buy a house for your student. That's one of the best investments I think you can make. If you have a kid coming down here to school.
Or two, or three.
Or they have roommates, get your butt into a house that your student can live in. First of all, you know you're getting a good deal because you're putting money back into the economy. You're not wasting money on rent.
Yep.
You know, your student's living in that house with your child. Basically, at your house, let your child live there free.
Yes. Mhm.
So, I mean, all great options.
Right.
And why wouldn't you?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so lots of great things happening. Chele, so glad that you could come today.
Me too. You guys, she's just the best, is she not? She's just hilarious. I mean, thank you for what you add every day. I mean, you really are a leader downtown. It's in a really good way, maybe an evil way. But yeah.
Well, and thank you for, doing what you do, providing your service to the community, providing your retail opportunity to the community. And same, we've been friends for a long time, Chele. So there's a reason why. And this is how we make things happen in small town Wayne, America.
That's really true. Mm-hmm. We have to. It's up to us.
Yes, that's right.
So, Lord help us all.
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort.
And we made it through. We didn't say any swear words today.
Consider that a success.
So we really appreciate you joining us today for the Farmhouse Dirt. Get down and shop at Refined and Refreshed, 104 West 2nd Street here in Wayne, Nebraska. And we look forward to seeing you in the coming months. And hopefully in the coming weeks, we will keep you entertained with more to come. So have a great week and we'll talk to you soon. Welcome home.